Welcome. This is the Modern Geek Podcast, coming at you live. Please subscribe through YouTube or Twitch. Hope you enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, this is the Modern Geek, also known as Vant Mario, and we're going to be doing another unboxing today of a series of figures that I'm a big fan of. I've done quite a few unboxings of them, and that would be a company called Kotabukia. So I don't know if you guys were familiar with it, but Kotabukia is a Japanese statue slash figure company. They make a lot of different statues. What's really cool is they have a lot of licenses for, they have Marvel, they have DC, which are more recent, but they also have Star Wars. Obviously Kotabukia is known for a lot of anime figures, being a Japanese company. And what I love about them is for people that want to get into collecting statues. You know, most of us out there who are in the collecting world and collect all this kind of stuff, you know, love comics, love all that stuff, and are modern geeks like myself. You know, you go into a comic book store and you'll see those statues, and there are statues that are, you know, $200-300 for these like gorgeous statues that look just like the character, or you know, are amazing, and they're pieces of art, and they're just, you know, amazing statues. And you know, for a lot of folks who, you know, maybe love comics and are collecting, you know, some of us are not as fortunate to be able to drop $200-300 on a statue, especially if you think about a set. You know, I use Hot Toys as a huge example. You know, Hot Toys they're amazing detailed figures. I did a previous video with the 1966 TV show Batman and Robin, which I was able to get my hands on nicely as a gift. And you know, they're gorgeous, but you know, you think about something like the Avengers, and they do have every Avenger, you know, at $200-300 a pop. It's kind of crazy. You know, you're looking at a potential investment of like $1,000. Now, of course, they do go up in value and they are worth something, so it's not like you're throwing your money away or it's a bad investment to get them. But that being said, that's a lot to invest. What's nice about the Kotabukia figures is that a lot of them are in a very reasonable price range. Most of the Kotabukia figures are within the $40 to $60 range. Some of the bigger formatted figures are like $100, which I think is fair. You know, they're bigger scale figures, so that's why they are. What's also cool about them is they're more like a model kit, but they're snapped together models, so you don't have to glue anything or do anything. And I think the detail's pretty high. And for today, so I have unboxing videos up there of the Avengers set, which came out recently, and since they did get the Marvel property, they were able to get another character in that enhancement. So I'm going to be doing an unboxing of the Deadpool Kotabukia figure, which is pretty awesome. So they were able to get Deadpool. There's actually two variants of this figure. So I have the red and black, the traditional Deadpool. There's also a gray, a black and white or gray toned Deadpool, which either is coming out this year and it's going to be the exclusive at San Diego Comic-Con, or it was the exclusive at San Diego Comic-Con last year. Actually, no, it couldn't have been, because I bought the San Diego Comic-Con one for last year, which is was Origin Batman. Very cool. So we're going to do an unboxing. So here's the front of the box, and it has all the Deadpool art on it. Deadpool logo. And then what's usually pretty cool is they have the concept or kind of the inspiration for the figure, and then they give you the actual figure. And then they have on the back a Kotabukia Japanese import. Now that the Avengers lineup is complete, Kotabukia is expanding its Marvel Now Artifacts line to include other mainstream Marvel comic characters. First up is one of the most popular comic book superheroes in the business, Wade Wilson, aka Deadpool, formerly a member of Weapon X program. The Merc with the Mouth is a longtime assassin for hire, an independent agent who's worked alongside just about every superhero and villain from the Avengers and X-Force and everything in between. Now the fourth wall breaker evades your house with a fantastic new artifact statue. Created in 1991 by Fabian Nacira and Rob, meaning the creators of Deadpool, has never looked back and continued to appear in more and more books with his unique style and non-stop witty rapport, not to mention his trademark costume and extensive armory. Wilson makes a stunning debut in the Arctic series as he crouches in preparation for an attack, drawing one of his swords from his sheath and on his back. Deadpool naturally wears his iconic red and black costume, complete with abundance of straps, pouches, extra ammunition, spare weapons, pointy hood with mask, and of course his cute Deadpool logo belt buckle. Sculpted by Januka Abe, the same master craftsman behind the Marvel now Avengers series, Deadpool stands 6 inches tall in his deep crouch with perfect stability on his included magnetic display base. Deadpool is of course awesome all on his own, but he also works great with teams and looks fantastic alongside the Avengers. So, little plug to say, you'll love this figure by your Avengers. I actually saw that I saw the preview of this figure at Comic-Con, and I was really excited to get this. I grabbed it for $60, which has been kind of the standard for the price. So, without further ado, let's get this sucker open. Usually there's one piece of tape on the top of these boxes. I have actually gotten some that have no tape, so it almost felt like people looked at stuff. And I know it said on the back the magnetic bases. That's actually one of the things I most dig about these. Oh yes. Now Deadpool also has a really cool thing which isn't on the back, but we're gonna see it together. So, I was gonna say he's probably out of all the figures, he was gonna be the one that came in instructions. Cool. Nice. So what's cool about these guys is that you'll see all the parts. They're really nicely packed. Now, what's really cool about the Deadpool figure, so there's two things that were really cool about this, and we're going to go over the base in a minute, but there's another piece. So he's a little bit different than some of the other figures. Now usually there's tape on here and there's snap-in plastic. So and these are awesome. I moved my entire house and moved all of the figures in these boxes. They really do hold up well in the boxes. They're packed amazingly well. And we'll go over some of the other things. You want to just take your time as you're pulling things out. This is awesome. I'm so glad I got this. Oh, another piece of tape. So I am a huge Deadpool fan. I'm looking unbelievably forward to the film. I was so mad, of what we got with Mr. Reynolds in the movie that they did have Deadpool in. Because what I was so mad about in that Wolverine movie is that, it was one of those cases where it was the perfectly casted actor, meaning Ryan Reynolds is exactly who should play Deadpool, and obviously I'm ecstatic that even though, there was another piece of tape that I missed. Even though the other movie was pretty horrible, I'm glad that that Deadpool got made, and oh god, all right, so I'm just gonna be careful. Okay, I'm so glad that Deadpool got made, and that they were able to have Ryan Reynolds come back to the role. So one of the cool things about the Kotabukia figures is that all of the figure is individually wrapped. So every piece of the figure is wrapped in its own bag. One thing I will shout out there and warn, the Deadpool one is very, very delicate. There's a lot of pieces in here. So when you're taking this out and you're opening it up, just be very careful, because your pieces can go all over the place. And if you have a dog like myself, you may be concerned that your dog will eat these pieces. But yeah, each one is wrapped. That's cool. So this is actually unique because they don't normally do that. I shouldn't say not normally, because there may be some Kotabukia figures that do it. Most of the Artifacts figures that I've bought have not had alternative hands, but they actually give you an alternative hand for this one. All right. So I'm just done doing. So gonna get his basic body built, and then we'll go over all the accessories, so we can get a better look at them. But yeah, so you can see every piece is individually wrapped. And I make sure to put all the wrapping back because, as I learned from my recent adventure in moving, and you guys can see the room is getting there, it was interesting, but definitely wanting to rewrap all this stuff is important. Oh my God, this is so cool. Oh. Now I should consult the instructions, because it would be kind of funny if they're like, in order to put this piece on, Deadpool. Yeah, so you can see here, they give us an instruction manual, which I will reveal more of that once I have everything. Okay, so that hand goes there. That hand goes there, so you can start to see Deadpool kind of take shape. Yeah, now I've figured. And what's really cool, I mean, they really think out the figures really well. I'm getting all these alerts. Sorry, guys. So you can see all the snap pieces. So you can see on the back, like there's a snap little like hole there, and then you can't really put the piece in the wrong way. Meaning, the grooves are designed in such a way that you have to match the groove. Or the piece won't go on correctly. So you can't really mess it up, but you want to be careful with pieces like this because they can be very delicate. And I specifically, if like I remember when I was getting the Hawkeye one, the Hawkeye figure, it was hard. You had to be very careful because the bow is very hard and very delicate. So some of the figures have kind of delicate pieces. Most of the Avengers weren't bad. It was just Hawkeye that was like, and like stuff like this. So he has like one sword coming out. So you have to be really careful, which yeah, so like you see, you want to put that in his hand, but so you may have to be a little inventive with how you do this, but they are very precise in how they make these. So whoops. So if a piece is supposed to fit into another piece, it's really, really nice and precise. So, alright, the scariest part is kind of out of the way. Whoops. And, you know, it's a snap together model, there's no glue. So, if you put a little force on it, they'll get into place. But you gotta just be careful with delicate parts like that. Now, what's cool about this guy, I'm gonna just put this aside for a sec, is that so we have the other blade, which is going to go on the other side of his dual holster on the back. But like I said, they gave us alternate hands. Now they gave us alternate hands because you can do one of two things with him, and which I think is really, really cool. So Oh, I guess. Alright, so I guess the other sword is only if you put the certain hand on him. Okay, so the sword is kind of an optional piece. So he's got a little bit more customizing to him. Because, so they gave you, and I'll show you guys, they gave you two hands. They gave you the, like, party on hand, which he typically does. He does, like, the rock and roll hand, or a hold. And, of course, I dropped it. Which is, it's going to be the hand I'm going to use. Or, like, a grasping hand. I'm going to use the grasping hand. So I'm going to use the grasping hand because I like the grasping hand better. And then there's two things that you can have him do. And actually, I might have him do the second of the two. So I might put the sword away. But you can either have him hold the sword with the grasping hand, which is why you get the extra katana sword. Or you could do what they did at Comic-Con, because remember, so going back to the character, Deadpool is always known for breaking the fourth wall. So Deadpool is one of the most unique characters in the Marvel Universe because he's the one character that knows he's in a comic book. And that's one of the reasons I really like him as a character. Well, in addition to all the stuff, and I'm going to just, yeah, this is, I went the wrong way with this. All right. So fold that back. So in addition to giving us the figure, what they always do as well is they give us a base. Now this one was packaged a little bit differently, and I'm actually happy they packaged it this way. But what they gave us, oops. And this is like the longest unboxing video I've done, so I apologize for the length of this video. What they gave us was two very cool things. And of course, well, that's because they painted this base. So all of the Marvel bases were just standard metal bases, but they made the Deadpool one a piece of metal with Deadpool's logo on it, which I think is awesome. So that's really cool. But they also gave you and I'm going to show it to you because it's a little hard to get out, a dry erase marker. They gave you a dry erase marker and a sign. Because since Deadpool is known for breaking the fourth wall, they gave you a sign that he could carry that basically has a message that you could create your own Deadpool message. Like, I'm just a toy, which is probably what I'm going to write. Or whatever you want, because again, Deadpool is known in the Marvel Universe as, again, the one character that knows he's in a comic book. So they gave you the ability to have him, you know, have a wisecrack or have a, just trying to pack all the packaging back in. You know, they gave you the ability for him to have a wisecrack or to have whatever. So they also included, I'm like trying to take it out. They also included a dry erase marker to allow you to do that. So you have a little dry erase marker. I'm going to write my own little message there for my Deadpool. And you can see in the instructions just kind of detail all the different pieces and what do they write? Deadpool rules. So having that sense of humor with Deadpool. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. They gave you the ability to have, sorry. Just put this back. The ability for you to have Deadpool be his wisecracking self, even as a figure. So I'm not, since this video is already very long, or much longer than I wanted it to be, I'm just going to get him ready with the sign, and then I will work on having him have the sign later on. Cool. So, voila, all together, all ready to go. But this is our Deadpool, and so you can see I'll have what you're writing on the sign, and again, looks pretty badass. He's got that base. On all of the Kotabukia figures, they have magnets on their feet, and all their bases are metal. But what's, of course, awesome about this is it's a Deadpool themed base. So I think they really did a good job with the Deadpool figure. Much more interesting and much cooler than the other figures that I've gotten from them. I mean, I like the Avengers figures, but I feel like they really sculpted this to the character, and it was really cool. So, and then we got our dry erase marker, so I'm going to do you know, I'm a toy, or maybe I'll do Please Don't Manhandle Me, which would be kind of cool. Any of those. But just love the pose too. It's just a really slick, I'll do a 360. It's a really slick pose, and I just love the detail. And again, for 60 bucks, like, that's really nice detail, and it's made out of plastic, so it's less likely to break, less likely to do all that stuff. So very, very cool. Really excited about this. I saw it at Comic-Con and I loved it. But thank you guys. I'm sorry this video was so long. I'd love to hear in the comments what you think. Are you fans of Kotabukia? Is that the stuff you're collecting? Do you like those figures? Have you gotten any yourself? Hey, what do you think I should write in Deadpool sign? That actually be a cool thing. I like that for the comments. You know, what should Deadpool be saying on my shelf? Awesome, guys. Well, thank you. I'll see you at the next unboxing, and I appreciate it. As always, please, if you like the video, subscribe through YouTube under Vant Mario. You hit the subscribe button when you're done with this video. You can check out the other videos as well. Also, check out our Twitch channel with live gameplay and streaming. And then stay tuned for our live show, which hopefully will be coming soon. So take care, guys. See you soon.